Okay, so the new national curriculum becomes statutory for us in September, and that provides quite a few challenges and questions. The first is that, of course, the new national curriculum is statutory for Year 1 and then Year 3, 4 and 5, but not for Year 2 and Year 6, because children in Year 2 and Year 6 will be assessed on the old curriculum next year. However, many schools, and this is Hamilton's advice, are doing the new curriculum with all children from Year 1 to Year 5 inclusive, because we know that the Year 2 curriculum hasn't changed much, and also, although it is a little bit more demanding, that's a good thing, because it means children in Year 2 will be well prepared for their SATs, and importantly will be well prepared to take on Year 3 in the new curriculum the following year. So most schools are doing new curriculum with Year 1 right through to Year 5. But this does raise some questions, and several people have emailed, a lot of people email in with what amounts to 3 really good questions. And the first is, putting children into the new curriculum, if I'm putting the children into Year 5, they haven't done the new curriculum in Year 3 and Year 4, so do they not lack the prerequisite skills? And the answer is yes, they do. Bearing in mind that the new curriculum is a lot more full and a lot more challenging than the old curriculum. And so if you think that basically everything you used to do in Year 6 is now in Year 4, and pretty much all the number curriculum from Years 7 and 8 is now in Year 6, we can see that putting children straight into the new curriculum at Year 5 is going to give us a problem with the lack of prerequisite skills. That's the first question. The second question is, well, if I'm teaching a mixed age Year 5 and Year 6 class, I've got to teach Year 5 on the new curriculum, Year 6 on the old curriculum. How am I going to manage to do that? 2 curriculums, 1 class, very difficult. And the third question that people are emailing in about really relates to mixed age range. This curriculum is a mastery curriculum. Children have to master age-related targets. So if I've got Year 3 who have to master the Year 3 age-related targets and Year 4, how am I going to differentiate in a mixed age range class? Lots of challenges there. So at Hamilton, we have really considered these questions and considered the problems and thought about them in our planning. So what are we offering? Well, first of all, we're offering a complete raft of single age and mixed age range plans, fully differentiated, up on the site. So in September we shall be, or before September, at the end of this term, we shall be launching with all the single age range plans, plus the reception Year 1, the Year 1-2, the Year 2-3, the Year 3-4, the Year 4-5, the Year 5-6, all of those mixed age ranges we have thought about and planned for. The Year 5-6 is particularly helpful because the Year 6 are on the old curriculum, the Year 5 are on the new, and we've actually encompassed that in our planning. So that's kind of a good starting place for that. Secondly, we are actually providing infill teaching, which is teaching on the prerequisite skills which you do in order to enable the Year 5 children to do the new curriculum Year 5 when they've not done the new curriculum Year 4 and Year 3. So we provide infill teaching, little blocks of teaching which you fill in the prerequisite skills. It does mean you will go slower through the year, but that is an inevitable consequence of putting children in on a new, more demanding curriculum halfway through or 3/4 of the way through their school career. So we provide those little blocks, and that's really quite helpful. And thirdly, we're actually providing differentiated mixed age range plans so that not only do you differentiate the year groups as per the new curriculum, you also differentiate within those year groups. So if you've got struggling Year 3s, you've got something specific for them to do, which is different from the something you might give your really gifted and talented Year 4s, or your gifted and talented Year 3s come to that. So truly differentiated plans, I think, is a very key point here. The curriculum is very crowded. It goes very fast. It is a real challenge for us because to pack more into the school year is not easy. How can we make things easier for ourselves next year? There's a few things we can, well, there's 3 things we can do which are going to help. The first is that actually we've no time to reteach. We can't be thinking, well, I've taught the 3 times table, they still haven't really learned it, so I'm going to reteach it. Oh dear, next year they still haven't really learned it, I'm going to reteach it again. We cannot be doing that. Children need a good bank of memorised number facts, number bonds, you know, numbers that add together to make 100, numbers that add together to make 10, 20, etc. And of course their times tables. But we've no time in the maths lessons to spend chanting or doing that. So our suggestion is that there is a 10-minute slot in the day in all junior classes, which is called quick maths, and which is not attached to the maths lesson, which is where children do their memorisation. And that's if that happens, then actually those memorised facts stay memorised. They're kept simmering and they stay memorised. We provide quick maths activities on the Hamilton site so that these will give you a starting point for what to do in that 10-minute session. Secondly, in the infants, to do that, to get the quick number facts on the map, we have a little book, 5-minute fillers. If you email us, it's £5. They're little activities to do in the corridor, waiting for assembly, when you come back from PE and the children are changing, just 5-minute fillers, all to keep those little number facts simmering. Secondly, we think it's very important that we take a developmental approach to the use of images and models, and that images and models are developed through the school as the children progress. So the use of a number track in reception, where children bounce along it on the carpet and have number tiles, and the pegged number line leading into the beaded line in year 1, where we have the 10 red, 10 white, 10 red beads to 100, leading into the landmarked line, leading up to the empty number line. This is a developmental approach to images and models. Schools which take the time and the trouble to make sure that they are developing the use of images and models in a consistent way through the school will really find that that reaps benefits. And thirdly, it's important to make sure that we are all agreed in the school about how we are laying out these complex calculations, and whether we're laying things out in the same way so that children don't lay it out one way in year 4 and then go into year 5 and have to change tack, because that's very confusing. And exactly how we're laying out those calculations will depend on which calculations we are teaching to whom. And remember that it is the school's choice how to do the more complex calculations. The examples in the appendix are examples only, they are not statutory. Schools make their own decisions about how to do complex calculations. I think that brings me to the most important point. This curriculum is challenging, and how it comes out in practice will be up to the schools in which it is implemented. And I think that the choices schools make have never been so important. You know your children, you know what's best for them. You know what to teach at each time. You've got choices in the curriculum about when to do things, and you've got choices about how to do things. And so the content may be set, but the how and the when is not set. Those are the choices schools make, which make that curriculum completely right for their children in their school.